Hi, welcome to Teacher Time. Today I'm going to show you how to start adding color to our Nutcracker drawings using markers. We'll start with part of our Nutcracker and we may continue to another Teacher Time just so our instruction doesn't get too long and too tiring on our hands as we're working. What you'll need for this Teacher Time today is, of course, your good copy that we've been working on. You may want to also have that scrap piece of paper just down on your surface as we're working. You'll also need your markers that are inside your art bag, and you may want to pull out, there's an extra marker that I put in there that might have a skin tone option, so you can pull that out. Yours might look like one of these. So if you kind of have a random loose marker in there, I put one in there for you just to give you another option, so you can pull that out too. Okay, I'm going to adjust my screen so that you can see my artwork as I'm working. Okay, so we're going to start with coloring in any area where we have the skin tone of the Nutcracker showing, which is just going to be a few spaces. The hands are kind of in that semicircle, and then also the Nutcracker's head. So again, you can pull out that random marker color that you have, or if there's a skin tone that's in your marker pack that you'd prefer to use, you can do that too. We're going to practice using the tip of the marker, which gives us a smaller line. But then we can also use the side edge of the marker to fill in up and down, back and forth, which fills in the area pretty nicely. Okay, so I like to trace the inside of my shape first. And then with markers, they can be really fun to use, but they can also show the direction that you're coloring. So you want to have your lines going in the same direction, back and forth, and also using that side edge of the marker. You can see I'm holding it a little differently than just holding it up and down for the tip. By using that side edge, it fills in your space a little faster. And the only thing we're not going to color in on our Nutcracker's head is the mouth. We're going to keep that just the way that it is. Again, if at any time you need to pause the video or stop the video just to work at your own pace, that is perfectly fine. So now that we have our skin tone, again, just those three spaces, we're going to work on coloring in a few more. So we're going to switch colors now, and you're going to pick out a color that you'd like to use for your Nutcracker's hair. Again, filling in that space, tracing it first, then using the side edge of your marker. Keeping that same color out, using the same color just to fill in the little circles on your buttons. And those I'm just coloring in. I'm not going to trace since they're so small. And then finally coming down to the boots. Be really careful. Some boys and girls get confused because they think that whole leg is going to be colored in. We're actually only going to color in from our line down to the bottom. So I'm going to just use the side edge of my marker really quickly to fill that space in. Okay, so for that second color, we have three things that we added: hair, buttons, and boots. After that, you can close up your marker. You want to make sure you hear a click when you close it. That way you'll know that it's there and the marker will stay working for you. Next, we're going to pick out a different color. Oh my goodness, I forgot to color something in. I forgot, if you have a beard, you can also use that same color. Oops. There we go. Okay. We want the hair to match. So now we'll pick out a third color and we'll fill in just a few things with this. Okay? We'll start with the stripe on the hat, that narrow, thin little stripe. Again, not the whole hat, just that little line. The shoulders. And I forgot to mention this, but I'm not putting my hand on anything that I just colored in. You can even rotate your paper. Marker takes a little longer to dry. So if you have your hand on top of something that's still wet, it might smear or smudge, which can be really frustrating. So just kind of be careful of that as you're working. So I have the stripe on the hat, the shoulders. I'm also going to use that same color for the belt on the jacket. Okay. Again, if at any time you need to pause the video or rewatch any of it, you can do that. We'll end this teacher time now and we'll do the rest of the coloring in our next one. You can also, please make your own unique color choices. Your nutcracker should not look exactly like mine. It should be unique and based on the colors that you choose. Okay, so when I give you the option to switch your markers, you don't need to pull out that same color marker that I have. Just follow the guidelines as far as what we're coloring in so that we're creating that sense of unity and balance so we don't have all of the same colors and taking up a lot of space. So we're working on filling in our space, which we've done with drawing the nutcracker, but then also filling in our space solidly with color and practicing using markers in a good way. Okay, so I'll see you during our next teacher time where we will finish up with color on the nutcracker. Enjoy adding color.